on March 15th, when the new league year starts, people can sign with whoever. And for the second straight offseason, wide receiver is one of those positions that we may have to take a deeper look at. So Mecole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson, all free agents. The only guys that are returning from our active roster: Sky Moore, Justin Ross, Kadarius Toney, MVS. And the only return wide receivers, it's honestly pretty much our AFC Championship game roster. But actually, it was even worse. We didn't even have Toney in that. But okay, so since the Super Bowl, we've seen a lot of guys go on Twitter and applaud the Chiefs. Keenan Allen, Chargers receiver. DeAndre Hopkins applaud Mahomes and the Chiefs. So rumors with Keenan Allen, Chargers I think are over or $22 million over caps right now. So by cutting Keenan Allen, it would take away $20 million from that because he's owed a lot of money this coming year. DeAndre Hopkins is a potential guy that they want to trade in Arizona. And even since then, today, Robert Woods was cut from Tennessee to help them get under the cap. Then you also have different rumors of Michael Thomas, another guy who's been thrown around there as a guy who could potentially be cut. So, JD, where do you want us to go as far as receiver of all these guys that are being named right now? If you could have a choice of one of these guys, realistically, and I know you and I would want to go with DeAndre Hopkins right away, but that might be a second or third, might be a high draft pick, which I don't think I could see us doing. And he also wants a new contract too. So right now we're not, we're Veach is with that money. But if you could realistically go out and get a receiver of these guys I named, where would you go for receiver?
I mean, realistically, you said it. D-Hop. That's who I would want. Shoot, I'm like, hey, D-Hop. Before you even name anybody else, D-Hop. That's what I'm going for. So yeah, I like you said, he'll cost draft picks, no doubt about it. But D-Hop is such a talent. It's such a talent. He can do it all. And when you got a guy that can catch, run, and do what he can do athletically, man, then it makes it easier. It makes it easier. So he's just filthy out there on the football field, man. I'm just a D-Hop fan, man, because of the way he plays. But if I had to go for the second combination of that, right, Keenan Allen, I think is one of those guys you'd be looking for top dollar, like you said. He was hurt last year significantly, I guess, with the hamstring and whatnot. Okay. But Robert Woods is a guy that would actually fit in this offense, right? I mean, I know he had an ACL tear, but I didn't watch a whole lot of him this past year, and I really don't know what his numbers are. But it's saying like the fit for the offense, Robert Woods would be that guy. He could be a guy that we could definitely utilize. And I know he's long in the tooth, but he's a guy that veteran presence. You come here, you get him on a 2-year deal. He ain't gonna cost you a whole lot of money, right? And so he is without a doubt a guy that could fit into this offense. And so if we're just talking about, how a guy is pretty much molded for what we do offensively, he is more of that guy. Now, Michael Thomas, we've known over the past what he's been able to do. It's been phenomenal, but the injury bug has hit him too. So I don't know if his best days are beyond him now, right? It's past him. So I don't know as far as like how that would work, what that would look like, but I'm sure Veach is going to make something happen. The guys you said on the field that we got right now, that's a good mix of guys. I like Sky Moore. Sky Moore got a lot better. MVS was clutch when he came down when he needed it, right? Kadarius Toney's an exciting guy. We needed a fast, twitchy guy. He is that guy, right? Justin Watson is a guy that can take the top out of the defense if he needs to. Big receiver.
Justin Watson's free agent. He's one of the free agents.
Oh, he's a free agent? Okay, Justin.
Mecole, Juju, and Justin Watson are free agents.
Okay, all right. Well, MVS, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney. Those three in itself is good. That's a good guy to have, right? Good placement. So I think, man, if you go with one or two guys in free agency, Pat's going to get them the ball. Shoot, you got three guys who already understand what the offense is all about, so they got some great rapport with him. That to me is a good group. You got three guys in a good group. We got young guys too. They're still firing away. So my man, what's the name of from Clemson?
Justin Ross.
Justin Ross, man, Justin, man. You know what I'm saying? So still got him and I got I was talking about not just Justin Ross, uh,
Cornell Powell.
Cornell Powell, right? Hard worker, solid guy. They know him. So these are guys that are always going to come in and they're gonna give up what they need to give up, to come out here and play. So Justin Ross, we don't know how that's going to look, right? How does this whole situation of being out this entire year, how's he going to operate? So I like offensively the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Ross is a big name. Everyone keeps throwing out there because we don't know what we have in him. He could be a special. That was the thing. A lot of teams didn't want to take the chance on him and having him to sit out the whole year. Well, we did do that, and so we'll see what happens with that. It'll be fun to watch. I mean, he's an amazing talent who's battled a lot of adversity.
I hope we put some more gadgets in him, like a machine, adding some parts, and he'll come out like Megatron. That's what I'm looking for. So.
Got souped up a speed racing car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, you made some good points. Robert Woods, I think would fit great on the offense. I think it would be cool to have if we were able to sign Juju back and also be able to get Robert Woods. I think those are two. Feasibly, I think that we could probably get both those guys. I think we end up going to get DeAndre Hopkins wants a new deal, a new contract. Keenan Allen's going to probably want some top dollar. I think those guys, if we do go with this, it'd probably be it. We go one of those guys and that's it. But the way we've been kind of constructing the offense, we'll probably maybe try to get maybe 2 or 3 guys who can, who could play, like a Robert Woods and Juju types. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting. When you talk about DeAndre Hopkins in our offense, what does he bring to our offense? How does he, because we never really had a guy like him in the Mahomes era. So, like, what would he bring to the Andy Reid offense?
Oh, man. I mean, the same thing he'd bring to any offense, right? I mean, just the ranginess, the athleticism, be able to catch any ball that's thrown to him, right? Seriously. I mean, that's who DeAndre Hopkins is. I mean, we had to talk about one of the most spectacular wide receivers that we've seen in the last, I don't know how long he's been playing. How long D-Hop been playing?
He's 30 years old, so
almost 10 years. I mean, seriously, he's been the most exciting guy, for the past 5 to 6, easy wide receiver wise, right? And so, when he's out there, the dreads are slanging around and stuff like that, man, he's just making it look easy. Okay. And so when you have a security blanket like that, it makes everybody else's job easier, right? Because now it's like, we got to stop this guy. And guess what? You ain't going to just stop him. Ain't no way. Just hope to contain him. So that's what he brings to Andy Reid's offense. In any offense, you're going to have a guy that is one of the best wide receivers that we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah, and he's been pretty healthy for the most part. I mean, outside of his absence this past year with the PED stuff, that's pretty much it.
That's it, man. We got a guy that's going to be able to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
True.
Now, he definitely provided a different spark to the offense. Yeah, I was looking at it. So Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, and Robert Woods are all the same age. They're all 30. So, I mean, you're getting a veteran type guy with any of those types of guys you bring in. I think realistically, Robert Woods would be a great signing for us. I think the fact that we talk about Veach being a bargain bin shopper. I think that's the type of guy he would go for. It's definitely something he would go for. He's not going to pay top dollar. He doesn't have to trade any draft picks for him. He can pick him up and hopefully he pays on an incentive based type deal, like a Carlos Dunlap type deal.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, this guy, he's got good hands, man. He's got good quickness. I mean, I like his game. And so, like I said, as far as like what we require for wide receivers to do in this offense and getting open and finding windows and stuff, he can do that. There's one thing he can definitely do. So.
For sure. Yeah, I saw a next gen stat. Apparently based on his numbers last year, I mean, looking at his numbers, that they weren't good. I mean, the quarterback situation there was kind of tough. But as far as his get open rate was amongst top tier in the league last year. Yeah,
he just ain't had nobody getting him the ball. I don't care how good they say Tannehill is. So Tannehill's not PM15. Okay, let's just be real here.
No, not even close. And if all those tweets that we see from receivers tweet about Patrick Mahomes, I think, we may not say dynasty yet with the two Super Bowl wins, but I think we're now at the point, which we talked about a couple of years ago with me, you, and E, we're at the point now guys are going to want to come, the LeBron effect. They're going to want to come for the smaller amount of money. Whereas we thought that was going to happen 2 years ago. But I think after 2 rings, I think now we're going to start to see what we talked about 2 years ago.
Yeah. Shoot, I couldn't even see how you couldn't do it then.
I know.
But hey, I don't know, man. This and I think what they learned, a lot of people around the league learned, is that there's no egos in within the organization. If like nobody's bigger than anybody, you know what I'm saying? They seen how everybody was just kind of gelling together. It's like, why would we not want to go there? I'm leaving this spot over here and everybody ain't on the same page. Doesn't look like everybody's wanting to win. D-Hop, that's to me, he'd be like, hey man, I want to go win me a championship. Okay. Let me go over here, go do it. So to me, it just makes sense. Keenan Allen, he didn't got his head beat in enough times by the Chiefs that he knows like, dang on, I want to go to the winning side. I want to go to the winning side. Right.
Can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, and the one thing I know a lot of people say, oh, Veach is not going to want to trade, for a guy like Hopkins or whatever. AJ Brown was on a podcast, and I just saw this before he came on, and he said that that day that the Eagles ended up trading for him, the 49ers and the Chiefs also had inquired about him, which is interesting because we thought, we made a Tyreek Hill trade. Obviously, we made a trade, and we were able to get all these guys who helped us win a Super Bowl, but there was potential that we would have just ended up swapping all the draft picks we got, some of the draft picks we got to go get AJ Brown, which would have been interesting to see in our offense. But it shows you that Veach, everything's on the table for him.
Yeah. But I think, with that, there's a lot of input from Andy as far as like, look, this is what we're looking for in a guy. And so, AJ Brown's the guy that, take the top off the defense, throw deep balls. That's what you're looking for him. Right. Mm-hmm. Or he's suited for that type of offense. And so there's like, we don't quite need this guy. This is the guy we need. He fits the bill. So we could take a guy like that, like Juju, start guy, play inside and out. We could take him. He fits the bill. Robert Woods, perfect. Like, hey, we could take this guy. He gets open. He fits the bill. And so I think that's why they was talking about, what's the name that came in here? OBJ. You're trying to get over here, right? They was trying to say that, but he's just, hey, just a little bit too much thing, as far as like the knee injuries, ACL, 2 of them. Hey, fine. See you. Go, you can do without that. But yeah, man. Shoot.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be interesting. I think that, and again, I pointed the questions about looking at the receivers online, and Chief fans just don't think we need receivers. And it's like, we can't go in the situation where we are the AFC Championship game and we have just Marcus Kemp trotting out there. And I know Kemp stepped up great, and that he's an NFL player. The guy can play, but like we need guys. We can't just roll out the same old every year. You got to grow and kind of get better and try to find ways to repeat again.
But you want consistency. I got that consistency and the continuity. You want those things. I think if you get a guy here and say, hey, look, we're looking for the future for you to be here for a couple of years, right? Like MVS, absolutely makes sense, right? So go get a couple guys, okay? 2 guys ain't going to break the bank. And if there's one that's going to break the bank, make sure you get D-Hop.
Right. Also, we could, what I've read, we could cut MVS and save about $13 million. I don't know. I don't know. That Veach is going to have some decisions to make here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I told you this obviously is going to be interesting. So,
hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.